Hi, I'm Danielle Hartman, and welcome to another episode of Porch in PA. For this next episode, we're in Erie at a small independent brewery with big plans. Erie Ale Works has continued to create welcoming spaces for the local community.
Erie Ale Works officially opened our doors on September 6th of 2014. My buddy Steve and I were home brewers for 3 years prior. As home brewers, you'd hang out with other home brewers, and then that included commercial brewers. And before we knew it, we were like asking ourselves questions: Can we make this a thing? Then we're writing business plans. We're taking loans out, putting up property for collateral. Yeah, then in September 2014, we pulled the trigger, opened up with one whole beer, which I would not recommend anybody open with one beer. That's silly. But it was more of a financial decision than anything else. We remodeled everything at the end of 2019, and then turned everything on early 2020, and is what we have now. It's pretty fun. When we opened, there were 3 other breweries near us: Ladder Brewing Company, Erie Brewing Company, and the Brewery Union Station. We were the 4th one, obviously, and that's the linchpin that triggered the Lake Erie Ale Trail to start, because we were all within a mile or so together, and 3 breweries does not an ale trail make. So, as being the 4th one, we developed this passport that you could complete the trail in an afternoon, and we give you a nice sticker for doing that. So in the city, it was pretty minimal craft brewery representation-wise. And then since then, the Ale Trail now has 15 members altogether. So yeah, we're kicking ass. We're as Northwest PA, we've got some really good beer here, really good people that run breweries, and I'm happy to be in it and part of it. It's a good time. It's friendly competition. It's definitely competition because my neighbor is selling the same stuff that we're selling, but it's friend competition where just yesterday we had a canning run and we were short on some materials. I drove the 3 blocks to Ladder Brewing Company and picked up some sleeves of ends for cans. And on the other industry, that would never happen. But it's far more friendly than the other end. Usually, unless you're an asshole, then it's sorry, we're not gonna talk to you. We're in competition against all of our neighbors, all of the registered PA brands. So Budweiser all the way down to the newest seltzer. What differentiates us is what we have going on back here. The service you get, the experience you get, the time that you have while you're here, and the quality of the beer, of course, has to be paramount. When we make our decisions, we use beer, staff, customers in that order, and we use that way to determine what decisions need to be made. If the beer's garbage, then everything else just doesn't matter. So we need to fix that. Staffing serves the beer, so we have to have the best staff, and I think we do. And then those 2 things combined ultimately serve the customer. So if we don't have parts A and B correct, C is gonna suffer. And then backwards too, we want the best customers. We don't want the shitty customers that are in looking for a shot of beer, because that's not who we are. We charge a premium price for our product, and I think we earn that price every single time because the quality of the liquid speaks for itself. We always say we don't want to be Erie good, we want to be good. And I feel like this beer here, this competes, I think, statewide. Put this up against anybody else in town, I think we're neck and neck with everybody else. Not to brag my ass off, but Steve and Jeff did a kick-ass job with this beer.
Money shot. Very exciting.
So what do we decide to brew? It's a fairly complicated process of pouring yourself a beer, sitting around in a circle, and talking about what beers you've had recently and how can we make those our own. We try to have a draft board that's very varied. So a couple pales, a couple hoppy beers, a couple not hoppy beers like beer flavored beer, a seasonal of some sort, a fruited sour, and a stout or 2 depending on seasonality. We work pretty closely with a coffee shop here in town called Porch. We use their house roast and our coffee stout. So we like to have that on as often as we can because we really like the local tie-in Hoppy beers we're always trying to play with, trying to perfect, trying to get the aroma to punch you in the face from, 10 feet away, that sort of thing. From a beer-flavored beer standpoint, like a Blonde or a Kolsch, we've been nailing those pretty hard. So we try to keep that blend of products and then just make them better. So we say the naming of the beer is the most complicated part. It's the hardest part. We usually don't name the beer until it's done because the experience could lend to the name. Also, all the cool names are taken, so to speak. So like Bong Cloud Attack. Google it. It's a chess move. It just happens to touch on some points that our customer base may be into in another recreational area. Next is the universe of the Seinfeld reference. Phase converter is when we first started many years ago, we had electrical problems because our electric box was too small, and we had a serious conversation with ourselves like, okay, we're making kind of shitty beer to start, so let's like put our foot on the gas and do this the right way. So we were like elevating our mindset, so like converting the phase. So that's a really deep way to think about it. Then like Blast Off is a nice West Coast style pale ale that was the first beer off the new rig. So that was like, okay, we're here, we're making beer on a serious system now, and let's blast off and never land. There's another beer called Cold Leftovers that'll be just, it's a you get bags of grain left over and some hops you haven't used, so let's stick them together and make something cool out of it. So Cold Leftovers is perfect.
Hello, Jeff here with Erie Ale Works, coming to you live from Gridley Park, part of the our West Bayfront neighborhood. And Saturday's Porch Fest is happening from noon to 5 in the neighborhood. So what's Porch Fest? I'm going to be set up.
We choose to help our nonprofit community because it's important. Erie has a lot of nonprofits, and they all do good work. They all do important work, and we want to live someplace where we can affect positive change. Sure, we need to make money, we need to make a profit to keep the doors open and the lights on. But like when I go do a beach cleanup because it needs to be done, we don't make a single dollar off of that particular event. Now people, again, they'll see us doing it and they'll say thank you. And then we'll invite people back here, we'll buy them a beer and give them a slice of pizza and say thanks for helping out, because it's important to do that. Because that state park, that beach is super important to our overall community. If that thing gets trashed, then we all kind of lose. So the more that we can help our friends and neighbors, the better the community becomes. And beer, honestly, beer is community.
We hope you enjoyed learning more about Erie Ale Works. Until next time. Cheers.